Bless the name of the Lord once again for the gift of life. We thank Him, the Alpha and the Omega, for giving us this grace of life. Today we're going to continue with our studies on the secret of a healthy marriage. And last week we started the topic by saying that do not examine the problems, but rather concentrate on the causes of the problem in marriage. You don't have to examine the problem, but you concentrate on the cause. Oh, and to say what di wakoma edi ensem a esisi wa waware mu na chi o. Na mbom no ne edi ensem na esisi ye no ba ye no. Enu mbom na hia se omo wani ko ho. If you say so when you cause any man who momo aware no ntawantawa no see no timi edi. You know, when you concentrate on the cause, to resolve issues becomes easier. Last week I gave you a definition, or I gave you some points on how we can concentrate on the cause or the causes of the problems. And I told you that, or we learned that, when we concentrate on the causes of the problems, the first thing it gives us is that it gives us a clear definition of the situation. It gives us a clear definition of the situation, meaning that we will look at the situation and assess it well and then understand it so that when we are dealing with it, we know how to deal with it. In continuation, the second aspect that focusing on the causes will give us is that it grants us freedom, okay, to assess the nature of the cause. It grants us access to, it grants us freedom to assess the nature of the cause. So, sanya adeɛ na de ntawantawa ne bae no. Sɛ yɛde yɛni kɔ nea ɛde ntawantawa no bae ne so a, etimi kyerɛ yɛ sɛnea saa adeɛ na ɛde ntɔkwa ne bae no, etimi kyerɛ yɛ saa de korɔ no suban ama sɛ yɛkɔ yɛ ho adwuma a yɛtumi asomu ye ayɛ ho adwuma yi ama adimu. Okay? You cannot deal with a problem if you don't know the nature of the problem. Okay? You cannot uproot a tree by cutting the leaves. You need to uproot it from the root so that the tree will cease bearing fruit. When say dua bi si ho na dua no eso aba bi na pesa aba no eso bi mu a. In fact, hu na me ye this is just an example. I was say wutu dua na se. Wutu dua na se a na entiri ni nyina tutugu fom a. Aba na dua no so no. Entumi nso sa aba no bi. Sa na ware tie. Sa na ware mu ntawantawa tie. That is how causes of problems in marriage must be viewed. You look at the nature of the cause, or you have a freedom to assess the nature of the cause of the problem, then you can deal with it properly. Now, under having the freedom to assess the nature of the causes, three important questions comes up that everybody must ask before trying to tackle marital issues. Under the freedom of access that we have in tackling or looking at the nature of the cause of the problem. I hope you understand what we are trying to explain here. The three questions that one must ask is that, number one, where do I start from? Where do I start from? If I assess, or if I have the freedom to assess the nature of the cause of the problem, where do I start from? Where do I start from? You can't just start from anywhere. So this question brings us to a point where we begin to talk about timing. Timing is very important. If you want to resolve marital issue, timing is very important. So if you ask yourself a question, where do I start from? Then we are saying that you have to look at, or you have to check the timing. Some timings are good for certain conflict resolution. Some timings are not good for conflict resolution. So you check the timing before you start assessing the problem. The second question that comes under looking at the nature of the cause is that, how do I handle it? How do I handle this situation? How do I handle the cause? And if the question comes as how do I handle the cause, then we are looking at strategy, or being strategic. What strategy am I going to use? How am I going to start it? What mechanism do I have to put in place before trying to resolve the marital issue that we call the causes of the problem? So the second question is that, how do I handle it? And then we are talking about strategy. You must have a strategy as to how you can start working on the problem. Now, the third question that we must ask ourselves if we want to resolve the marital issue well, or by looking at the nature of the cause of the problem, the third aspect is that, under what condition do I tackle it? Okay? Under what condition do I tackle it? If I ask myself, or if you ask yourself, under what condition do I tackle the cause, then it means that you are asking of the atmosphere that I must see myself in before I can start tackling the issues. You know, you can tackle marital issue in the atmosphere of envy and jealousy. You can tackle marital issue within the atmosphere of hatred. That's why we read from Matthew chapter 18 that if a brother sin against you, go to him privately. Privately means that you must have an atmosphere or a siren environment where both of you can listen to each other, and then there can be an amicable settlement. Our dear Ninsem Dosso, a Yeshina be brave, now so Munsem Dosso be brave. 18 years, I say, and Sunny bet me who near a day, and so bonny by a warrior mono. I was here Timmy a two Nihinino. Now Sunny bet two Nihinino, and some for me and some people why I was here to me beside I won't say. A hint and a measure here free. Send me two our riano, and some no, a hinina, a hina measure here free. Ah, a bet me, I'm my into a say, say, a brebe, and I was a meeting me casa. Near tossing me and say, a quite besso, and I mefa meeting me, I yes, a Jumano. Enti, who besides us in Misana, naturally say, and she said, Ben. Ah, and I say she said, Ben, and the debate to her, meeting me, yes, my worry send me. And I mean, sans one so you say, a quite besso, and I say, a hint for potting. And I say, Tibia potting bay moon was sent me to me, and whom you answer and to me, I come my worry sell. And the actually say, I was said Tibiana woman, a yet Tibia, and can you be any home? I said, could you be correct by beer? And Tissa will more mutnaho and son, I walk come worry some, and I said, why, yeah, what money say, who two are worry some, I say. Until you see, this is what we learned today. Take your time and listen to it. Ponder over it, and I believe that when I come your way next week, you will be blessed. God bless you, and shalom.